One of the big races we're following today is that for the U.S. House of Representatives, because which party controls each seat carries increasing significance.
The talk so far has been how he matches up with Tony Vargas, but he has a primary to get through first. I'm Alex Whitney following the Don Bacon campaign tonight as they face off with Dan Fry in a battle between the old and new waves of the GOP. It will be interesting tonight to see if Bacon's reputation as a moderate will help or hurt him with Republican voters in CD2. In a general election, that moderate stance might play well with undecided voters, but his opponent Fry has been trying to appeal to the most conservative factions within the Nebraska GOP. That isn't bothering Bacon, though, who is predicting a big win tonight over Fry.
It's going to be decisive. I have a number in my mind, but I've learned don't overpromise, underdeliver, and I don't really want to underpromise either. But after knocking on 40,771 doors and asking voters what their preference is, and we've had tons of data from polling, I believe this will be a landslide today.
There hasn't been much polling done on this race, but internal polling from the Bacon campaign shows a nearly 52-point lead over Dan Fry, but it still remains to be seen whether or not those numbers will hold up. We still have a couple of hours until polls close, so if you haven't cast your ballot, you still have time. Reporting here in the newsroom, Alex Whitney, your neighborhood reporter.
A contentious congressional race between Don Bacon and Dan Fry coming to a head tonight. I'm Hannah McElroy here in Millard, speaking with Fry about the race and his message to voters.
May 14th, we've got a chance to fix it. Okay. All right? Thank you all so very much.
Fry says he hopes to collaborate with the Freedom Caucus in D.C. on the issue of border control and national debt, because he says in the district, those two items keep constituents up at night.
They're not being listened to, because what we're doing right now and what our Congress is doing is shoveling hundreds of billions of dollars to other countries in foreign wars.
Fry says the real story is the change voters can make at the polls. We'll have more from Fry and about this congressional race tonight at 10 right here on KMTV. In your Millard neighborhood, I'm Hannah McElroy.
I'm Molly Hudson, your Central Omaha neighborhood reporter near 90th and Dodge with Tony Vargas, who's running in the Democratic primary for the state's 2nd congressional district. Vargas's message to voters rests on 3 main arguments: cost of living, protecting government systems, and reproductive rights and freedom. He says despite being uncontested, the work remains the same, building a strong support base that can sustain him through November.
What's your message to voters as they go out in the last few hours to get their vote cast?
One is that I'm listening to them. So my message is what I've been hearing from voters, which is they want somebody that cares about jobs and our cost of living. They want somebody that understands that we can't send somebody to Congress that hasn't done anything to lower the cost of living. And Don Bacon has voted against lowering prescription drug costs and lowering health insurance premiums and wants to gut Social Security and Medicare. That's not what it looks like when you're actually fighting for the working middle class.
In 2022, Vargas lost to Don Bacon by just 3%, and his campaign has polling that indicates a rematch this year would likely be closer. I'll be at Vargas's watch party tonight and will bring you his reaction to the polls tonight at 10. In Central Omaha, I'm Molly Hudson, your neighborhood reporter.